But I never really wanted to. I was pursuing my PhD in art history simply as a way of getting to New York. I never really wanted to be an art historian. I never wanted to be an academic. But I got a little bit waylaid because I just had gotten a fellowship to go study art history, and I could have had a fellowship to go study nuclear physics. It was just a way of getting on a bus to New York City. But then once I arrived at the Institute of Fine Arts, where I was to do my work, I met an extraordinary teacher, a very great man named Kirk Varnado, who I wrote a long essay about in a previous book, Through the Children's Gate, because he died tragically young of cancer. And he was such an inspiring teacher, the kind of figure you meet once in a lifetime, that he kind of sucked me back into art history and what it could be. So I was still doing it. But when I arrived at the New Yorker, for me, it was this sense of enormous release, because I started writing Talk of the Town. And it meant I was everywhere. I was all over the city in my sneakers, taking the subway to table hockey tournaments in Flatbush, or meeting slack rope walkers on the Edge, or a trapeze artist who had a loft in Chelsea. So that range of how to describe it, whimsy and satire and all those things, was just opened my heart. No one will believe this, but because it was a wonderful job that many people had dreamt of having. I didn't really want the job as art critic at the New Yorker because it wasn't where my real heart ambitions lied. I tried to do it as best I could, and I think I wrote some good stuff, but that wasn't where my beating heart was. And the truth is that I was expanding so much as a writer and learning so much as a writer, chiefly, as I say in At the Stranger's Gate, because when you're trained as a graduate student, you're trained to make everything contentious. You write with buts. Somebody says this, but. And when you're learning the art of narrative, of poetic reporting, if you like, you learn to write everything with ands. And I was fascinated by what you could accomplish with interspersed dialogue and with simple narration. And hugely powerful. It's self-evident to everyone but me, but I'm a slow learner. So I really wanted that. And I had a kind of turnaround moment in 1994, just after my son Luke was born, when I realized art is wonderful. I love writing about art. I don't want to be writing about art, but it's crazy to make that the center of what I do. That's not where my heart is, and it's not what I want to do. And I kind of threw my cap over the wall, in Frank O'Connor's sense, and said, not doing it anymore. I'm going to Paris, and I'll write there. And it was liberating in that way. So, and it was when I got back from Paris, because I was writing about lots of things, but chiefly things Parisian, for the next 5 years, that I sort of became the critic at large and kind of opened Pandora's box to see what lay inside. And that suited me extremely well since.